Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! Here goes the mother! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
We need if you can survive!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother, Tommy. How's it going?
I am doing good.
And also joining us once again is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How's it going?
It's going great, guys. How's it going with you?
It's doing awesome, as always. I feel like my week is not complete until we see Richard's beautiful face, right, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely.
And your Terry Funk shirt.
It's the lotions I put on my face.
You got to exfoliate. It's all about exfoliation.
Was it the lotion on the skin?
No, it's the lotion. You put the lotion in the basket.
Yes,
Put the
that's
lotion
what
in the basket!
Yes, I'm so pretty. Oh my God.
I do me.
This is going
Hey, do you think that we could use Goodbye Horses to be the theme song for this podcast?
Ooh.
Oh
That's the most unwrestling theme song you could possibly have. Therefore, it works.
Yeah. Some things like that can mesh out very well.
That's what we need, like more crazy, like psycho wrestlers. I don't know. I got it fresh on my mind. Tommy and I, Richard, we haven't told you this yet. We just watched part 1 of the Brian Pillman episode of Dark Side of the Ring. So it's free on YouTube right now. So we just watched it beforehand.
YouTube?
Yeah, I heard of it. It's kind of a new thing where you can watch some videos on demand. It's pretty cool. I hope it takes off.
Some cool viral videos.
Yeah, and you can hopefully you can listen to music and stuff on there.
Hella good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
So Dark Side.
I haven't seen a lot of new lately. You know, I just saw Smokey and the Bandit 2.
And you just finished Columbo, right? The first season?
No, well, I'm on the second season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe Klecko was in.
You can find my my other podcast, Finding Columbo, now available on OnlyFans.
Oh my God! This whole podcast is starting off on a great note. So that's okay. But
what's this podcast about?
I think it's about pro wrestling. Yeah. I think that's the goal for this one. Because you gotta have a niche topic. Like I
thought we were talking about shuffleboard this whole time.
Oh, no.
I like a good shuffleboard game.
I know. Thank you to the Kliqsters. If you're still listening to this point, you're the true number ones, the true heroes in this situation.
Both of you.
Oh yeah, both of you.
You're simply devoted.
Oh man, I needed that good laugh already. So thank you to the Kliqsters for tuning in. As always, remember to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform
and be loyal.
And follow us on social media in the Kliq at gmail.com. What's that, Rich? You got like a light in your? Is that a candle?
I can create fire in my hand.
I was gonna say you look like a superhero right now. We gotta start doing videos for the podcast. No. People can see you doing.
They don't want to see me. They don't want to see me.
But a lot going on. As always in the world of pro wrestling. For this episode, we got some clickbait news, and of course, we will break down our favorite highlights from NXT this week and SmackDown. NXT, I cannot wait to talk about because right out of the gates, we all popped this week. We'll get into it. That's a tease right there. So, but first things first, let's talk some clickbait news and some exciting stuff happened reportedly a couple days ago. So WWE is reportedly in talks with MLW about possibly working together. Ooh. And this came out through Richard, you would love this, the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave Meltzer reported this, but
I've heard of him.
Wrestling Inc. picked up on this. And so it's being reported WWE officials are in talks
So
with
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hold on. Look for fantasy discussion.
Has Mike Johnson talked about it yet?
I'm not sure yet. I'm sure he got his team working on it as well. But
he's trying to get his sources.
So WWE are in talks with MLW officials. So, Wrestling Observer Newsletter, they reported WWE doesn't not like the reputation of not working with other promotions right now. So when it comes to MLW and WWE, they're trying to create a similar working agreement that NXT used to have with Evolve back in the day, or even hell in the 90s ECW, the deal they had back then. So,
or USWA.
So yeah, the idea is to give some of the developmental guys who aren't working a lot of NXT, the TV, and an opportunity to work matches elsewhere. So it's an idea for WWE to create their own Evolve-like group as a weekly streaming show. That was one idea we talked about in the past. But this will allow talents to work on actual TV and get some more exposure than on Peacock and the WWE Network. And also makes it seem like WWE is, working with other people. So it's kind of exciting stuff. So that's the thing is, there's been a lot of, we all know WWE has a huge roster, specifically even NXT at the Performance Center. It's kind of cool because I know there were rumors that there was like an NXT Evolve show that's supposedly in the works right now. That nothing's been officially announced yet. This is a second option. It looks like that NXT can send some of their talent, like I said, not on TV a lot, that can work TV elsewhere under other promotion and get some reps in and just work on their characters and in-ring work. So Richard, what's kind of your just thoughts of potentially NXT and MLW working together, very similar how NXT and Evolve worked over the last few years?
I think it's a bit of a dream scenario. I like it a lot. Ideally, I would prefer MLW and NWA to work together, but this is one I need to digest a little, just in comparison, because I did not hear about this till you brought it up, and I think it's very cool. Clearly, the potential in seeing Karrion Kross and Jacob Fatu together.
Oh wow,
that's a awfully tasty proposition for me.
Yeah, it's interesting because you think about it. Well, one, from WWE, as what the reporters are suggesting, is like WWE are, don't like the idea that they don't work with other promotions.
Plus they did with
they
Smoky
have
Mountain
for decades.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
So
in the 90s.
So I guess they're trying to change that reputation, that perception amongst the wrestling fans that they do play nice with others.
I don't think it's that. Because WWE is only going to do something if it could possibly mean a better financial outcome.
Absolutely.
I don't think they don't care whatsoever about that sort of reputation unless it's international.
Yeah. Well,
so if WWE was doing something with New Japan, All Japan, AAA, CMLL, or like they have in Europe with WXW in Progress, those are situations where you can see a working relationship. But in terms of this, I think that this is more so to get those wrestlers the reps that you were talking about, opposed to let's fix our reputation. Because I don't think that reputation issue is an issue for WWE whatsoever. The people that bring in the money for WWE are not the hardcore fans that want that relationship. I don't know why they want it anyway.
Yeah. So it's for me, if this goes through, I can only see nothing but positive things, hypothetically, as far as one, listen, as we talked about many times, NXT, their roster is huge and they keep signing new talent every year. And a lot of those people, men and women, are they need TV time. They need more matches to work. And also, you think about it, right now with the pandemic, they don't have that little Florida loop. Where it was like NXT, they would put on their own shows in the southern part of Florida.
Yeah,
that loop.
Panhandle.
Yeah, so they don't have that right now. So other than, just doing, their own matches inside the Performance Center, they don't really have anywhere to go to work on their craft. So I think if they can send some talent to MLW and work shows together, I think that's just a great opportunity for them and just build up the next set of stars for years to come. I think that's really great. And then for MLW, I don't know, will they get any financial compensation as well? But also, just for them, they just get fresh matchups. That'd be great, to tune in to MLW, and you might see some.
Well, and that's money for them.
Yeah, exactly.
The advertisement, because when you look at someone from NXT's roster that's brand new, they probably have a lot more followers than anyone, someone on the MLW roster that's been wrestling for a couple of years, because it's a limited audience. But when you can blend those audiences together, it's going to help MLW to the next level pretty quickly.
Also, remember with Evolve a few years ago when they were doing shows, they would send like Adam Cole and Dispute Era
Street
guys,
Profits,
Ciampa, and
Apollo Crews.
Yeah, they would do matches, and then some of them would just go for like an autograph signing or something. So if you have these stars advertise, it would just help MLW's maybe attendance, and people will go to watch their show, but then get some autographs and interact with stars from MLW and NXT brand.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win-win as far as everything goes, and it's great you're getting new, fresh people on your roster to book in these matches, but it doesn't really cost you anything because NXT or WWE is paying them already. So I think it's a win-win as far as financially. You're getting new people to work with for free.
And let's be honest, it's also WWE's chance to get a better look at people that they might want.
And that too. I'm glad you brought that up. Hypothetically speaking, how many people from Evolve, as the latest example, moved on to NXT, to WWE? I mean, look at Austin Theory, right, Tommy? He was the former Evolve champion.
Yes, he was probably the last one.
And a lot of people from Evolve who moved on to NXT. So I think it's great because, like, imagine if you're like Hammerstone, who's maybe trying to look for your next break, and he's like one of the top stars in MLW right now. If he does really well with NXT performers, who knows if he can get the opportunity to get signed to NXT at that point. So it could be win-win. It could be a great just working relationship as far as guys.
Richard Holiday.
Absolutely. Him too. I mean, a lot of guys.
He's almost tailor-made for WWE. I mean, he's great where he's at, but he's, with the limited experience he has, he's really good.
He's got that persona.
And real talk, like we love MLW, but we know they have a certain like ceiling as far as exposure or money that they can offer
building,
people.
Though.
It's building, absolutely. But like, if you're someone that feels like maybe you deserve more money, or you feel like you want to take your career to the next level and you maybe hit your peak with MLW, you want to maybe move on. But that'd be great if you can. This could be a great way to get your foot in the door with WWE at some point. So I see a lot of positive.
And you would have to imagine that whatever joint footage that they have, WWE would own part of that. Like they'd be able to keep that on their platform. Which, interesting thing for you to note. Mm-hmm. I just found this out about how ahead of the curve Vince McMahon has been.
Mm-hmm.
NBC or Peacock does not have Friends or Seinfeld on Peacock because they don't own those catalogs anymore.
Oh,
Peacock doesn't.
No.
Interesting.
So
that's why they've been promoting The Office so much.
Yes. Because those are the two things that people keep asking, why aren't these on Peacock? And if you look
NBC.
it up online, Seinfeld's owned by Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David.
Mm-hmm.
And Friends is owned by, I don't remember who else, but like those are the two biggest shows on NBC ever.
Yeah.
Same goes for Miami Vice. Miami Vice is not on Peacock because they have a deal with Stars, I believe. And once that deal expires, then hopefully they'll probably get the Peacock. Otherwise, you could watch the episodes on NBC's website.
Okay.
Wow.
So for Richard, with that being said, like they're hurting for more content and they don't have Friends and Seinfeld in?
Well, I don't know if you saw, but they had a press conference about how impressed they were with the bump that WWE gave them when they added the network on. But I mean, that tells you Vince has never sold off his footage. Like he's always owned and collected the footage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So those TV rights mean everything. When something like Seinfeld or Friends slips through your fingers, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Friends is on HBO Max currently right now, right?
Okay.
They're both on Hulu.
Hulu too.
So that's the thing with Peacock right now. WWE and The Office are their top two streaming
most popular ones
options right now. So no, I totally get that, and that's the thing too. So I think it's just cool hypothetically. NXT, if it evolves, or no pun intended, that they have like an NXT Evolve show, but then also have a separate working deal with MLW. So all this talent that NXT has, you can watch it on NXT Tuesdays on USA. And some of the lower tier people you can see on this NXT Evolve show or on MLW. So I think it's just awesome as far as the expansion of the NXT brand and all this young upcoming talent as well. So I'm really excited for the possibilities here. And
plus for me, you know, I like Bronson Steiner, so I could see him go for the NXT Evolve or MLW. So that's just my fantasy.
Yeah. So the only thing is I'm curious, like guys like Leo Rush, who was in WWE or NXT, he's in MLW now.
Or Simon Gotch.
Yeah.
See, the thing there, though, is that Court Bauer has several people on his roster that have not worked well anywhere else.
Yeah.
And somehow he is like the lion tamer for all these people. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
He's got control of the bad boys of wrestling over there.
And I'm excited to see like maybe the Von Erichs mix it up with someone from NXT. I mean, there's like the possibilities.
Like the grizzled young veteran.
Yeah, I mean, down the road, that could be something really cool. I mean, like, it's just fun to think about these possibilities and these options here. So like I said, I'm super excited. The other thing too is, I gotta give Court Bauer credit as far as the Vice deal. Possibly this deal. He's just trying to get MLW as many different platforms and exposure any way he can.
He really wants to get his foot out the door and just test the waters.
So, I mean, I give props to MLW as a whole.
He's making more moves in the short span of time that MLW has been relaunched than Ring of Honor has in the last 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, Impact's had their ups and downs. So MLW, I give them credit. Yeah,
they've had their
downs.
But I give them credit for what they've been doing as a whole. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, hopefully some more news will come out with this. We can talk about it some more.
The other thing with MLW to keep into consideration is that they've lost people and they've just replaced them really well. I mean, it's Court Bauer's a very creative guy, so it's a show. If our listeners have not seen MLW, go on YouTube and watch any episode of MLW. It's great. MLW Fusion on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's never disappointing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so I think this be, future more great matchups with superstars that they can bring in wrestlers. The combination should be a lot of fun. So, all right, let's move on over to this week's episode of NXT. I thought it was a super stacked show in a good way as far as so much to talk about and break down. It was just a lot of
thing to talk about. One thing. Let's get to it.
Okay, so finally, Richard, your prediction came to light, came true, came real. Cameron Grimes finally met the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, in person. Oh my God, it was brilliant. So
total mark out moment.
Yeah, it was 2 segments on the show. First hour,
you knew the minute he walked in there too, because there's a guy.
You see a guy
with a newspaper covering his face, and he's a big guy. So
it was great. Cameron Grimes, he goes to a jewelry store. He wants to buy a watch, a nice gift for himself. I love how he bit into, is this real gold? He bites into it and he's like, oh, it's chocolate. I don't want a chocolate watch. just Cameron Grimes, like the way he just, says things. It's just so funny. Like his
great delivery.
Yeah. The delivery of it all. And so, he wants the best watch out there, and it says to be continued. But yeah, Richard, as you said, you see someone sitting back there, obviously with a big old piece of paper in front of their face.
Or a newspaper,
And then later on, we see part 2. He's trying on the watch, and he's ready to leave, and he's telling the guy, ring it up. I'm going to walk out with this. And then you see some other guy's voice start talking. And for anyone who, recognize that voice right away, because Ted DiBiase is such a distinct, deep voice, and he says, that's a great watch, but you don't have $1 million watch. And then the camera pans out and you see Ted DiBiase just starts laughing.
His iconic laugh.
And he just walks out, and Cameron
Can they please hire him? Can they please? I don't care for what he can He could be on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and just manage someone. He is so refreshing to hear whenever he's on a microphone.
So that's the thing. He walks out and Cameron Grimes like, Ted DiBiase. So I wonder, where can this lead to? Are they going to have like a rivalry? Like, I want to see more Ted DiBiase. I'm with you. Are they going to do like $1 million challenges? Like,
wouldn't it'd be good if Ted DiBiase was hiring legends to wrestle Cameron Grimes
to take him out?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I wonder, will they have some sort of like competition? They go at it, but then they realize if they work together, that's more money. And then eventually, will they become friends? And like, yeah, could he manage Cameron Grimes at some point?
No, because at some point, IRS has got to show up and repossess that money of his, because he hasn't been paying his taxes on all that money.
I mean, he lives in Florida somewhere, you know.
Yeah, but if here's my thought: who is Hulk Hogan's number one enemy? If you really think about it, Bobby Heenan.
Yes,
because Bobby Heenan kept beating Hulk Hogan opponents.
Yeah.
What if Ted DiBiase is just beating Cameron Grimes opponents, and unlike Hulk Hogan, he can't beat them.
He just keeps losing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in theory that could be really fun to watch, but then I'm like, would he be being buried though? After
every match, he can curse, "Damn you, $1 million man, Ted DiBiase!"
I'm just trying to think, where can they go? I'm with you. I don't want this to be a one-off. I want this to have some legs and go on for at least a couple months. I mean, film
want it to be a recurring theme.
Yeah, film some stuff, and then
a couple years, I'm good.
A couple years. And here's the thing, real talk. I don't think we really talked about it that much, but Cameron Grimes, to me, I know he's a very polarizing figure. There's some people who really like him, some people who hate him. I love him because he's so different than a lot of the guys on the NXT roster. I think a lot of the NXT roster, the male guys, the top guys, they all have that similar badass babyface look. Cameron Grimes is so different. He stands out, and it's a breath of fresh air of a different persona that we see on TV every week when he shows up.
He kind of looks like Captain Caveman.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just that's what I enjoy watching. He's his own character. He stands out, and it's something different because, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, a lot of these guys, they all have that similar badass look of wearing the tight black jeans, shirt, and a leather jacket or hoodie. They all kind of have the similar look and attitude. Cameron Grimes is so 180.
He looks like a member of Leonard Skinner in his underwear, walking around in his vest and a top hat.
Absolutely.
He walked into the jewelry store with no shirt on.
He's got the sport coat on, no shirt.
What a douchebag.
I know. Total douche tomfoolery move on his.
So anyway, I love this. Like I said, I don't want this to be one and done. And I like...
This is the best way to use a legend.
Yes. Yeah. And let me ask you this with Cameron Grimes as this whole rich persona. We've seen other people do this.
Wait. So he got it with stocks and
dog coin,
cryptocurrency.
Dog coin, Bitcoin.
So it's different because listen, Ted DiBiase was big in the '80s and early '90s. I mean, more in the '90s, he was more like a manager, and didn't he fund the NWO? Right? Was that his thing? He was like the money behind.
He's the money man.
Money man,
apparently. Yeah.
But so WWE since then have tried to recreate a rich persona, as far as JBL was like a rich guy. We also saw Alberto Del Rio, who was like a rich
Mr. McMahon.
So
Del Rio was more like
a gimmick. It's a gimmick that always works because everyone can relate, and not like the guy that has everything. But they don't have everything.
Exactly.
Del Rio was more like a rich aristocrat type.
Yeah,
Tommy. Gino Hernandez.
Yes, Gino Hernandez, absolutely.
Yeah,
Ric Flair.
Absolutely. So that's why I like Cameron Grimes. I like the way he's been handling this rich persona, but he's still very much like a redneck. He's the Beverly Hillbillies.
It's trading places. He's white trash from a trailer park that all of a sudden has all this money.
Yeah, exactly.
He's wasting it on copying things that Ted DiBiase did.
Yeah. 30 years ago.
I mean, oh my God, this is great. Like I said, I hope we get more of this and we could talk about it more. I feel like this is the beginning of something big.
At some point, he needs to offer one of the champions money for their belt.
Yeah, I could see that.
If he goes around to like Kushida, like offers him.
Yeah. Or if Bronson Reed wins the North American title, he could probably do something with Bronson Reed.
I mean, it could be pretty funny too with Johnny Gargano right now and his personality with Cameron Grimes telling him, I need that belt.
Give me it. I need to go.
It looks good on my waist.
I wonder if they would actually bring back the $1 million belt, but like maybe with stocks on it or something, or dog coins, dog logo on it,
Bitcoin,
or something
would it surprise you if he had some poor man's version of the belt?
Or GameStop, like it's video game disc or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Oh man,
think of the possibility.
Yeah, it could be a lot of fun. I hope there's a lot more they can do.
They can take this gimmick to the moon.
To the moon.
What a segue right there. So, speaking of Johnny Gargano, as you just mentioned, Richard, so the way they seemed like the big story that was kind of like, carrying through the most of this episode of NXT, we saw early on Bronson Reed take on Austin Theory, and if Bronson wins, he gets a rematch with Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. And early on, the way comes out, Indy Hartwell looks upset. She didn't want to like be there. We all know she's a little sad after the events last week. Remember her and
Dexter Lumis?
They were like looking through each other through like the plexiglass, and then they were like walking, and she falls down.
Worlds apart.
Yeah. She gets back up. I'm still a little confused though. So a couple weeks ago, Dexter Lumis takes her away, and she gives the thumbs up and the smile.
Yeah.
This week or last week, they're walking together, and she falls down. They get up, but they don't kiss. And then this week she's upset. Like, why is she? I'm trying to remember, why was she upset at Dexter Lumis?
Oh, and Dexter Lumis had the match with LA Knight last week.
That's right. Okay, that's right. So, and then LA Knight, we saw cut that promo and says, "Oh, she has the hots for me too."
Yeah,
LA Knight's just trying to say that the women love him and stuff.
Yeah, he's chiming in.
So, a great match. Bronson Reed, Austin Theory here. Tommy, you love the finish or
every time Wade
Tsunami!
That's my favorite part of the week during NXT during Bronson Reed's match.
Yeah,
he calls the finish.
No, that was a great match.
His finisher.
That is a very impressive frog splash, I gotta say.
Dude, it is great. So yeah, hit the tsunami splash, got the pinfall over Austin Theory. And then later on, we also see, Dexter Lumis come in that match and kind of interfered.
Yeah.
He was staring at Johnny Gargano. Indy Hartwell he was trying to chase Indy Hartwell around. He got knocked off by, was Austin Theory, and then Johnny Gargano tried to get involved. So, everything with Johnny Gargano and Bronson Reed is still, a continuing thing right now. But after the commercial, we see them backstage, and Candice LeRae, I feel like she's really tried to manipulate Indy Hartwell and saying Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon are after Dexter Lumis, because remember we saw those flowers delivered to them during their promo.
Yeah.
Do you think Candice LeRae sent those flowers to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart just to set it up? And
it's a ploy.
She's telling Indy Hartwell, look, they're trying to steal your man. And then later on, we see the two of them beat up Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon before their tag match. So they're going to have
cupcakes.
They're going to have cupcakes and flowers here. So they're going to have a match next week. But Rich, I guess what I want to ask you is, a lot of people are saying the Dexter Lumis Indy Hartwell story is very much like a high school love story, the way they kind of act kind of awkward around each other.
It's like Twilight.
But then like the way they kind of conduct themselves is like a rom-com type of thing. I mean, NXT is known for being more like the real serious wrestling show, but now we're starting seeing these elements of like romance and just goofiness.
Like triangles.
Are you all for this? I mean, I know some people.
I'm amused by it.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
It's
I'm very amused by it.
For me too. Like, I like it as well because it's just something different. Because we can only see so much of like the super technical, like over the top wrestling, and it's kind of nice to break it up.
Not my bag.
But you know what I mean? It's nice to have a little change of scenery.
Yeah,
a little bit of a different storytelling style.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, because
you look at every segment of NXT and everything's different. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think that's what you're seeing. You know, you're getting a little bit of everything, which I feel like Raw and SmackDown could take notes from. And nothing wrong with them just saying, like,
yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of similarities on Raw and SmackDown where even if you're comparing Raw and SmackDown with each other, like, just kind of the same kind of stuff on both shows, where NXT will have like a random, you know, storyline like this in the middle of the show, or like a gimmick match somewhere, and it's good.
Yeah, this show, like when I said earlier, it felt very stacked in a good way, because they went from match to like a backstage promo into like a one-on-one, you know, just this wrestler talking to the camera, Cameron Grimes off-site. Like, I felt like there were so many different types of story beats of presenting this wrestling show, and I thought that was just really interesting. That's what kept me engaged this whole show. It was something different, as far as they'll have an interview, but then they'll go to, like, you know, Pete Dunne talking straight into the camera, or Cameron Grimes doing his thing with Ted DiBiase. So this episode of NXT I like, and I just kind of wish, as you said, Richard, like, which Raw specifically would really take note and kind of go back to like this presentation. SmackDown has been much better in the last couple weeks, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, I like this. And speaking of like one of these cool segments, I really enjoyed the whole sit down segment with Adam Cole sitting poolside, and he was being interviewed by Arash Markazi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Is he with Sports Illustrated?
He's with Sports Illustrated. I think he's worked with ESPN or something like that. I don't know.
Richard, I really dug this whole sit down segment for multiple things. One, it looks like Adam Cole's not done with NXT anytime soon. I think a lot of people thought after he lost the takeover, he's going to get called up to Raw or SmackDown post WrestleMania. It looks like he still has unfinished business on the NXT brand. How'd you think this whole this sit down with Adam Cole played out?
I mean, I remember telling you a while ago, months ago, that I feel like Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish, when they break up, that's a whole nother year or two in NXT to me. Like, there's enough story there to keep that going longer. I wasn't necessarily in the belief that any of them were going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's business as usual. It makes sense because Adam Cole's a vital part of that show. I mean, if you, that's like if AEW had another show on another network, a bigger network, and they took Cody off of Dynamite. Like, what's that do to Dynamite? Like, that's one of your stars gone. And quite frankly, Raw and SmackDown don't need a star like that right now.
No, and that's actually a good point. I think, especially, as you just said, for NXT, sure, they're the third brand, but now they're also on USA. And I think the mentality for years was like, oh, anyone who's been successful for extended period of time in NXT, they're going to get called up soon. And I felt like what sucked was NXT was always getting gutted to replenish Raw or SmackDown. So NXT was never, I felt, had long-term success sometimes, as far as there's no longevity there. But I think in order for NXT to have longevity on USA and be successful, they got to have these stars stick around for a longer period of time.
And to your point right there, we might be seeing a change there with that.
Yeah.
You know, longevity might be part of NXT now because of it being more of a legitimate brand.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think for them to have success on USA as a regular show for people to tune in, they got to have stars that are going to stay there for a bit, that people have a reason to tune in every single week and catch them. So, I'm all for Adam Cole sticking around NXT there. I mean, I thought in this whole segment, he said, you know, Kyle O'Reilly's not ready for his spot at the top of NXT. He carried this brand for so long. You know, the same old kind of heel remark someone would make who's been successful. But it was interesting, though, that he called out Karrion Kross as well, and said Karrion Kross wasn't ready to be champion last summer, and we'll see if he can be a good champion now. He's going to want to come back after him for his title.
The only remark that he made that didn't work, because you can say that if someone wasn't ready to be a champion, then how come he's now a two-time champion?
Yeah. So, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, that was the argument we talked about with The Miz winning the belt the second time, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it looks like, Adam Cole has a lot of revenge and things he wants to accomplish in NXT still. So I'm all for this. And then we see Kyle O'Reilly, cool Kyle O'Reilly, I should say.
Kansas cool Kyle O'Reilly.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
And that was Florida cool I Cole.
Yeah.
I think Florida cool Adam Cole should have Ted DiBiase as his man. Sure.
Well, dude, they're both wearing suits outside in that Florida sun at the pool. Yeah. I was like, that's a little hot out there.
It's like 80 degrees somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, so
80 plus.
I enjoyed that whole segment just because I think it just confirmed that Adam Cole's not going anywhere. And yeah, as you said, Richard, it's a good point. I think they could. We don't know what Roderick Strong's up to. I know we saw a couple weeks ago he gave his papers in to Regal. I don't know if he's going to go to Raw or SmackDown, or is he just going to come back in the near future. Bobby Fish is a big question mark. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff they can do with the Undisputed Era guys for a while.
Do you think potentially Roderick Strong is going to stick around, or do you think maybe he and Fish go up to Raw or SmackDown as a tag team?
Wow. I haven't think about it like that. I mean, I could see that, but I just wish Fish would had more wrap up his story in NXT, because he got injured at War Games and we haven't really seen him.
He's always injured.
I know. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But like,
he's injury prone.
Part of that injury prone is that he does something to save something in a match. Like, it's never like he's just clumsy. It's like he put himself out there for the betterment of something. It's like, it's just unfortunate that it always happens to him.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting for what's next for Adam Cole. Just a couple more things just touch on with NXT real quick, some of the highlights. We saw Imperium in action take on Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. I enjoyed this match, for what it was. I mean, at the promo beforehand, Drake Maverick was worried that Killian Dane was going to turn on him. He's like, I get this.
Danny, you just got to have faith.
Did he just reference a George Michael?
I love that. So when Killian Dane said that, I was like,
R.I.P. George Michael.
Yeah.
I think Killian Dane, his new gimmick should be that he should end his promos with some sort of lyric from George Michael.
Or Wham.
Yeah.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Maybe he tells Drake Maverick, wake me up before you go.
Yeah.
To the ring. Sorry.
There you go.
That's the easy one. That was the easy one. So the thing was, after the match or towards the end, we see Alexander Wolf look like he was going to have the chair and hit, Killian Dane, but then he showed restraint and stopped. Yeah. And then we see Tommy, which one was that? Marcel Barthel.
Bartel,
sorry. Looks at him, he's like, hey, what's going on, man? Hit him. And he didn't.
He resisted.
I don't know. What do you think that's trying to set up here? Because even after they won, Alexander Wolf, stood on the stage, and the other two guys were behind him, but then they moved past him.
And you also forget that Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane were part of Sanity.
Yeah, so
they were part of another stable.
I mean,
I don't know where this is going, but I hope they get there quick, because I'm losing patience with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you, too. Like, do you want to see Killian Dane in Imperium? Do you think that could work? I mean, he would need a makeover, right?
Totally.
Like cut his hair.
He needs to go with a wrestling ring attire, tights and boots,
And I don't know if he would fit that mold.
I don't think he is. I think he's going to stick with the little guy.
Drake Maverick.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Spud.
Yeah.
I will admit, I'm with you. Kind of need to speed it up, because for me, no offense to the rest of the guys Imperium, but I just think it's not the same without Walter.
Yeah.
I wish Walter was there with them, kind of executing this whole game plan of expansion. But I get at the same time, Walter is special, and we've talked about this. What we like about Walter, we don't see him all the time, and when he does show up, it's a big deal. It's like a big event.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
just like the Rolling Stones, like Dad would always say. Whenever the Rolling Stones are in town, it's not just a concert, it's an event.
Exactly. Walter is in a big event. So I don't know, like it looks like Thatcher is nowhere near Imperium right now. Thatcher and Ciampa are busy with Grizzled Young Veterans. That's a whole separate thing. So I don't know what Imperium is going to do next. But yeah, I'm with you, Richard. Whatever their game plan is, let's start seeing the ball rolling faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's really... Like, I just want to know where they're going with it at this point. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, well, speaking of factions, Legado del Fantasma, they were in the main event taking on MSK and Kushida, and for the night they were calling them
Kushida.
Exactly, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
What'd you think of this main event here?
Loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
It was a lot of fun.
This felt more like an NXT when they were on NXT was on the network. This was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for the last year or so, it felt like that they were putting just the main event people in the main event. So, like back in the older days of NXT, they would have like random matches like this as a main event. So I dug it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like MSK. Every time I see them, they win me over more.
Yeah,
same.
I mean, the Rascals, I knew of them in Impact. I didn't know too much about them.
They didn't do much for me there. And they didn't do much for me in MLW. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Who did we saw in West Coast? Was it?
We saw the other guy,
Trey Miguel.
Exactly. We saw Trey Miguel. So that's the thing. Everyone thought he was going to be the big breakout star, and so when they signed these two,
he to me for me was the one that turned me off to them. I think the most
interesting. Okay,
like his persona, like he just seemed so immature. Like
I can see that.
Like outside of the gimmick, like I always say, like, you can kind of tell by looking when I believe in a wrestler, it's something coming from their eyes. With him, he didn't look confident in what he was saying, and he looked like a child.
Yeah.
Child with tattoos.
Well, that's the thing. So when these other two guys got signed, I'm like, oh, I guess this is going to be the opportunity to really shine. And God, they've blown me away with just how entertaining they are in the ring. And Kushida wore shoes this week, which is interesting.
I like that. I like those little white boots he had.
Yeah.
Shoes he had on.
So, but a very fun match.
MSK brings an energy that I feel like the only other team in WWE like that is the Street Profits.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Legado del Fantasma got the win here, and what a power statement at the end, holding up all three titles, the tag titles and the Cruiserweight Championship, standing over MSK and Kushida.
They want to be the rulers of NXT.
I mean, I've talked about this before. I mean, I think, like I said, there's a big opening right now at NXT of a top faction to control NXT now that Undisputed Era is gone.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Imperium or can it be Legado del Fantasma?
Yeah.
Now it looks like Legado del Fantasma could be that team.
They could get some momentum.
But for me, I'd rather see Santos Escobar go after the North American Championship. I think he should move on.
They have to get
up.
it off of Gargano first.
You're right.
And that's the thing. It looks like Bronson Reed's going to be that guy to do that. So they're busy with the belt over here. So I guess keep Santos busy with the Cruiserweight.
Well, you could look at it as, let's say the next takeover we get Bronson Reed winning the belt. And you have a title match with Santos Escobar and Kushida, but Santos doesn't win the Cruiserweight belt. Now he can go after Bronson.
Okay.
So it stalls you enough that you think that Escobar is going to win the belt, probably. Yeah. And then he doesn't.
Okay.
So.
And then I wonder if the other two guys can go after MSK for the tag titles. Okay. All right, I can see that playing out. That might be the plan where they're going for takeover and stuff. That's cool because that's right. Santos had the cat Jordan Devlin at last takeover, so now him and Kushida can have a good thing. You got furball in your throat. So one last thing, just a couple things we saw. Mercedes Martinez defeat Dakota Kai, but Raquel beat the crap out of her afterwards. And so I don't know if Raquel is a babyface or a heel. Like, I guess just depending who she's taking.
I think they're transitioning to babyface at this point.
Gotcha.
Or she's a tweener at this point.
And just one last thing, Richard, you want to talk about was Zeta Ramir, a new face in NXT, took on Toni Storm and actually picked up a big win. A victory over Toni Storm, but you really liked just her performance overall, right?
She just surprised me because we saw her 3 weeks ago as well and something, and she was part of that women's tag team tournament.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But like I was kind of all ready for this to be just an enhancement match, and she's getting her punches and kicks in there as well.
Yeah.
And then gets a nice distraction from Zoe Stark, who I'm very, very high on.
Yeah.
And hits crazy looking shooting star press for a win. It was good. And it was because of the way that shooting star press looked, she should have won with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
if you're going to pull off that big of a move, you need to win with that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting with Toni Storm, though. Like, she's a little bit losing right now. She lost
here. She's a heel.
Yeah.
Lost to
Heels
Zoe
don't
Stark.
need the wins.
Yeah. I wonder, because I think a lot of people thought Toni Storm was going to move up to Raw or SmackDown already, but she's staying on NXT. So it's to me, it's just interesting what's happening to Toni Storm. But I guess, that's the thing. She's Zoe Stark's in her head right now, and she's costing her matches. So this is going to lead to a rematch between the two of them, which we saw at TakeOver on the pre-show or kickoff show that they had.
And she's still newly heelish. So, remember how long it took for Bayley to get that? I'm guessing
okay.
It's going to take Toni a little while to get used to it, because she's not going anywhere until she's redefines herself. Finds out, how I'm doing this. Because, once she knows that she can be a babyface and a heel, she's ready for the main roster to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Toni Storm, I'm with you, can work on her heelish character persona a little bit more in NXT. So, I'm all for that. No, but overall, very fun episode of NXT. Just so much went down. And, I'm just digging how they've been presenting themselves over the last few weeks since they've been on Tuesday night. So a lot of fun. Moving on over to Friday night SmackDown. Actually, before I forget, so they had this vignette for this new faction, Diamond Mine. So please let us know on social media.
Faction?
I guess what people are saying.
I thought it was a belt. I thought they're bringing a belt.
No, I heard it's like a MMA type faction of these fighters, apparently.
Yeah, so let us know on social media who you think could be. I mean, who knows?
It's gotta be Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Timo,
Steve Blackman,
Steve Blackman,
Tank Abbott.
Yeah, Tank Abbott.
So it'd be great. Dude, how funny would that be?
I'd be into it.
Absolutely. So, and moving on over to Friday night SmackDown. What a show. I mean, real talk. There's really just one big thing to talk about on this show was the main event. Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan.
Pay-per-view quality main event.
Absolutely. Yes. If Daniel Bryan loses, he is barred from SmackDown.
It's a loser leaves town stipulation match.
God, Tommy, you were telling me earlier, we watched it together, and you told me your thoughts on this whole match. So let Richard know what you thought of the whole thing.
I thought it was a great match. It was great storytelling. There was a lot of momentum building for Daniel Bryan. He was getting all his offense in, clicking on all strides. He did the diving headbutt. It was so smooth and crisp, but Roman just overpowered him.
Countered him with clotheslines that were so brutal. The uppercuts that he were using that were so brutal. Everything looked crisp, and the spears were brutal. He made everything look like with authority, two of them. And, the finish was just perfect, just submitting him and with the armbar, right? No, the guillotine. The guillotine. On the other arm.
Yes.
The good arm. So,
yes.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It was a great finish, and I enjoyed the match.
They got multiple segments. I mean, this took up at least the last 30 minutes of the show. Yeah. I was all for this. Mm-hmm. Richard, your thoughts on this whole main event for Friday Night SmackDown?
I think we're all in agreement on this. This was just tremendous.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So, Roman Reigns comes out with new theme music, new entrance music. Yeah,
I dig it.
It kind of like this more...
He doesn't have Taz's music anymore.
Yeah.
It felt very operatic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Operatic.
Epic and
very cinematic.
It's I think just to really sell he's a big deal. It's it's an event. Roman Reigns, it's an event when he comes out.
Just like Walter.
I think it's time that he gets I'm sorry.
It's all right.
He gets some long tights like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I think he's due for that.
Okay, so
I think that's the last thing to get rid of that Shield look.
Yes,
the black cargo pants.
Not the tights that he had in FCW.
No.
But we're not going to go there.
Tights.
Yeah.
So
Low-key big hog.
Yeah. Hey now.
I said hog, not dog.
Yeah.
But I like the special ring introductions they did for us to make that big fight feel.
Yeah, just like a boxing match.
But listen, throughout the show, the episode, they had like all these prediction videos, different people, superstars, past and present, give their prediction. I can't stand those. To me, that's a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you do it for every single title match ever.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time. It's a time filler. Who cares? Give me more ring time of a match going on. But it's like I don't care what these people think.
Give me more Otis and Chad Gable
or something. Yeah, just give me more matches. I cut out all those video predictions, and that was probably enough for another extra match on this show. But no, but I like just right out of the gates, Daniel Bryan comes out with that drop kick. And I like how Daniel Bryan, Tommy, like you said, he was getting a lot of offense in.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns worked that more slower style to stop him in his tracks.
Yeah.
And every big move Roman did, I felt just had a lot more impact and
authority.
And it just, made him stood out, and everything he did meant something. So it's, the different styles. Even Daniel Bryan's some more technical ring mat stuff. Roman's some more power moves. I just like how they worked off each other.
Oh, and his power bombs were terrific.
I mean, God, when Bryan tried to do that Hurricane off the top ropes, but Roman Reigns countered with the power bomb.
I enjoyed that.
Dude, that was awesome. And then what was the other part, Tommy? I'm trying to think.
Go on.
Well, no, but Daniel Bryan was working on Roman's injured arm,
right?
So that was a big story beat, is where that really enjoyed. Yeah, it was just there were so many great spots here. Even when Roman tried to do the spear on the outside, went through the wall,
the barricade there. Yeah,
God,
the padded one.
Yeah, man, there were so many great moments in this match. So if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor, watch this whole thing play out. But I like how Reigns. Daniel Bryan would get him in these submission holds, but Roman would just start beating him on the mat, just throwing punches him. But then, ultimately Reigns won with the guillotine and switched arms to the one that wasn't beat up from Daniel Bryan and got the victory here. But Richard, after the match, I think was another very important, powerful moment, which we'll get into in a second. But for Daniel Bryan specifically, he's barred from SmackDown. Do you think or want they're just going to try to work an angle where he has to win his way back onto the SmackDown roster? Or do you want him to see go to Raw or NXT or something like that?
NXT. I want to see him go to NXT, because if he's going to be on a limited schedule, if he can help people get to the next level, because we've seen it with Finn Balor. You don't have to be on TV every week.
Right.
If you're not on TV every week, it's almost forgotten. So he can kind of fade away and then reappear.
Elsewhere, he's almost like drifting around from brand to brand, like a free agent.
Yeah, a freelancer.
Nomad, and just going around. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Like Pillman was in ECW.
Yeah. So, Richard, what I really enjoyed this finish, though, was we see Reigns after the victory. He's ready to do how do you pronounce it, Tommy? Concerto shot.
Yes.
Cesaro's coming out to try and make the save, but he's in the ropes. Jey Uso's holding him down. It's making him watch. And Roman Reigns hit Daniel Bryan in the head.
With the chair.
And it really, to me, symbolically, it was really cool as one superstar's career on SmackDown ends, a new star is being born. Cesaro here.
Yes.
So what do you think about just that whole story beat of the symbolism that this is, I think, a great time for Cesaro's star power to really explode now?
Yeah, for sure. My only concern is I think he is at a place where this is make or break.
Yes. This is his last. I mean, for all the fans out there who've been wanting this for a long time, this is his opportunity. So as a fan base, you need to support him to make sure this goes well.
Double down like you did on Kofi. And if you really want him to be that guy.
Yeah, support him. I know it's kind of tough because there's, we can't be in attendance to support him, but social media. Buy a shirt, social media, hashtag, tag him.
Revive the Cesaro section signs.
Yeah. Oh, on the Thunderdome screen.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. It's like, I think it was really interesting. Like, one baby face is going away. Cesaro is now the new baby face, and he's kind of like a lone wolf right now because it's him versus Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. So he's kind of like by himself right now.
Kind of like Kyle O'Reilly is in NXT.
So I kind of like that Cesaro.
It's the hero's journey.
Yeah, he's by himself. Can he overcome the odds and be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns for that Universal Championship? I don't think so in the near future, but maybe down the road. Who knows? That could be something cool. Imagine Roman Reigns in the swing like 20 times. I mean, that could be pretty epic. But it
would be an epic feat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was very cool. Just one last thing I wanted to touch on real quick was we see Big E defeat Apollo Crews by DQ when Commander Aziz gets involved. I don't know about you guys.
Good shit. It's good shit.
It was a great match, but I've just
real good.
It was
real good.
But we've seen this so many times. Like, since December, they've been going back and forth. It's so much. It's like, come on.
It's redundant.
They need to move on different directions. I'm tired of this. It's like great matches, but it's like
they got good chemistry. But
I think Big E's in a holding pattern until Roman's done with Cesaro.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think Commander Aziz's performance thus far? Or Dabba-Kato? I love the way he does
it's the Samoan spike.
But I like
I'm good with it.
I like his facial expressions where he's like, "Rah!"
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to play out really well when they have fans in attendance at arenas, you know?
Yeah. And then, we see Sami Zayn come in and look at the belt, and Apollo Crews is like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going to give it to you. And then Commander Z's takes out.
We're cool.
Takes out Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens comes out and gets involved. So, do you think this is going to lead to a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania Backlash for the IC title?
Most likely.
Yeah. So, I think so as well.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So, but I like Commander Z's
presence.
Yeah, Richard, who do you think's the better big man right now? Almost on Raw or Commander Aziz?
Almost.
Really?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Just
there's no argument there. Come on.
I agree.
It's a terrible comparison, Danny.
No debate. No debate.
7 foot plus guy.
And one's a champion.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Raw Tag Champion. Good points.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see them back soon. I missed them. I haven't seen them in a few weeks. So, no, but overall, I thought it was a very fun episode of SmackDown. Just the stakes that were involved for Daniel Bryan and how it was very much like a pay-per-view quality. Early, Richard and Tommy, shall we say an early contender for match of the year?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
It's in the discussion. Can be in the discussion. No. Okay. We should start doing that. We're almost,
You want to put the kibosh on that one.
Well, I think we should, for the Kliqsters out there,
why don't you sit the next couple plays out there, champ?
Wow. Come on. I'm trying to figure it out. But, no, like I said, I love this main event. It was so great. So, a lot of fun. So, on that note, let's go ahead and start wrapping things up. Richard, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on OnlyFans under Finding Columbo, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Trader Joe's. Please send your hate tweets to me at BabyHuey83.
Wow. Wonderful.
It's great. So, Tommy, how about you? Where do the Kliqsters find you online?
Well, you can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982, and not much to say.
I think we should make Finding Columbo handles. Just
on Twitter.
I got a copy. Right.
And I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey83. For everything else, at In The Kliq, InTheKliq@gmail.com. Subscribe to us, rate, comment, share the podcast, subscribe to us on YouTube, all that good stuff. Click the link in our bio. You find everything you need there via Linktree. So, thank you as always for the support. Go listen to my interview with Jerry the King Lawler from earlier this week. Very fun. And then
he loves your name. He just loves your name.
Okay, so you heard that. Okay.
No, I just heard it through. I'm really good friends with Jerry Lawler. He told me about it.
Thank you. And then
I don't listen to the show when I'm not on it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is the A show.
Yes, and then
you got me and Tommy. How can you top that?
I know exactly. You guys are the best. And then
you got that other guy, and then the other guy.
The guys, a lot of other guys.
I don't even remember their names.
Just a rotation of people.
That one guy.
That one guy.
And that one girl that we done, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, speaking of guys, I guess he's becoming a regular. He could almost be like another co-host. WWE superstar Drew McIntyre. He will be making an appearance this week on the podcast.
He's not a champion anymore. Why are you having people that aren't champions on this podcast?
I
just get the champion.
Oh, how funny would it be if I tell him that? It's like, Drew, I'm doing this as a favor, but
we're gonna have to keep it short.
Keep it short. We only talk to champions on this show now.
I'd like to ask you some questions about Bobby Lashley.
Dude, that would be.
What's Bobby Lashley's ideal Saturday like?
Do you guys hang out?
How much does he lift?
Dude, that would be funny. He's like, I'm just doing it as a favor. Like, I really wish I was talking to Bobby Lashley.
Well, he's the world champion.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense.
Keep an eye out for that interview. Cannot wait to talk to friend of the show, Drew McIntyre. He could talk about his new book that's out. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, watch Dark Side of the Ring. Season 3 premieres this week on Vice. Brian Pillman. We have to get Evan on again, I think, in the near future. Talk about Dark Side of the Ring, friend of the show as well. So
they'll do a Dark Side of the Ring episode on this podcast someday.
We're due.
You want to talk? Yeah, to do some more Dark Side of the Ring talk?
No, they'll do something when we've all gone mad and killed one another.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
he's seen my journals.
Yeah.
Oh, another fun episode. So on that note, let's go home.
Giveaway.
Yeah, send your hate tweets to @BabyHuey83.
Oh my God. On that note, let's go home, and that's the bottom line because Huey said so.